Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to my film and TV channel. I hope you enjoy what I've got for you today, and please check out as you're watching this little links on screen as well for different things on my Facebook and Twitter, and of course my football channel as well. And please, all your comments are very welcome. Just let us know and push that subscribe button. Don't forget, please push the subscribe button. Make sure your notifications set to public as well if you want to know when these vlogs are coming out. Push that notification button as well. So anyway, please enjoy. Right, today we've got a little movie review for you. It's a reboot. We've got a reboot today, 91 minutes, and we're talking Candyman, of course. So yeah, I did quite like Candyman back in the day when the original came out, I must admit. This one's an 18 certificate here in the UK. I think it's an R rating, of course, in the USA. $25 million budget, so that doesn't sound too high, does it? So I just wonder what we get for our money there. They say that's quite cheap in this day and age. Of course, it's a supernatural slasher film directed by NEO-NOIR and written by Jordan Peele, Win Rosenfeld and DaCosta himself. Direct sequel, of course, to the 1992 film, so it's not gone back in time or anything like this, of the same name, and the fourth film in the Candyman film series, although obviously it's asking you to forget the last couple, isn't it, and just go back to the original. Based on the short story, of course, The Forbidden by Clive Barker originally. The film stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Teyona Paris, Nathan Stewart Jarrett, Coleman Domingo, Vanessa Williams, Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen all reprise their roles from the original film, which is always nice to see. I always like to see that. Candyman was theatrically released in the United States and the UK on the 27th of August 2021 by Universal. So what's the story? What's the plot? For as long as residents can remember, the housing projects of Chicago's Cabrini Green neighborhood were terrorized by a word-of-mouth ghost story about a supernatural killer with a hook for a hand, of course he has, easily summoned by those daring to repeat his name 5 times into a mirror. I think we all did it, didn't we, back in the day? In present day, a decade after the last of the Cabrini Towers were torn down, visual artist Anthony McCoy and his partner, gallery director Brianna Cartwright, move into a luxury loft condo in Cabrini, now gentrified beyond recognition, inhabited by upwardly mobile millennials. With Anthony's painting career on the brink of stalling, a chance encounter with a Cabrini Green old-timer exposes Anthony to the tragically horrific nature of the true story behind Candyman. Anxious to maintain his status in the Chicago art world, Anthony begins to explore these macabre details in his studios as fresh grist for paintings, unknowingly opening a door to a complex past that unravels his own sanity and unleashes a terrifying wave of violence that puts him on a collision course with destiny. Of course it does. Any good scores as at 1st of September? Well, quite a few. 1st of September, 5 PM UK. These are all the scores and ratings and comments, etc. Rotten Tomatoes, 84% positivity based on 251 critics. An overall average rating of 7.3 out of 10, so that's not too bad. 212 fresh from 39 rotten. One of the rottens was from Richard Lawson for Vanity Fair. He said, the movie prefers to tell rather than show, making for an incomplete fusion of social commentary and gothic scares. But I say fresh within the majority, weren't they? So I'll have a couple of fresh. Anya Stanley from the AV Club says, say his name isn't just a clever marketing ploy. The film applies the expression with purpose and mirrors it through craft. There you go. Leah Greenblatt from Entertainment Weekly, she was fresh as well. Who can take a reboot, sprinkle it with something new? I think it's a song there. Who can make a reboot? No, whatever. Sorry about that. Something new, cover it with blood and bumblebees and a pointed social commentary or two. Candyman can. There you go. At least for a little while. Even if the movie doesn't really find its more than body horror groove in the end. There you go. The consensus should be positive, shouldn't it, based on those reviews? Candyman takes an incisive, visually thrilling approach to deepening the franchise's mythology and terrifying audiences along the way. So all good. Verified audience, the guys who paid money, so the guys who spent the old dosh to go and watch this at the cinema. 3.9 out of 5, so we'll say that equates to 7.8 out of 10, of course. So not too shabby. The 2021 Candyman, they say, may not be as scary as the original. I don't think it was, but it expands the story in ways that fans of the franchise should enjoy. So again, very positive. Metacritic, again, positive, average score of 72 out of 100 based on 52 critics. And it scores anywhere between 60 out of 100 and 90 out of 100. So again, very high. One of the lowest was Empire's Campbell, there's her name, 60 out of 100, and said, "Oh, it delivers some entertaining comedy and bloodshed." Yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with the comedy elements, I must admit, dark comedy elements, of course. Candyman is clunky and overly instructive in its metaphorical purpose, killing subtext as often as it does anyone foolish enough to summon the eponymous spirit. Yeah, silly sods. I mean, what are they doing? Are they mad? Are they mad? I'm not going to do it again anyway. I think there's a queue, isn't there? Obviously, I used to say to my children when they weren't that little when they watched it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they enjoyed horror movies, and you know, as you say, well, he's got millions of kids around the world to get to, so he'll get to you one day, kids. So yeah, I'm a nice dad, aren't I? So I still say that now. He's still working on backlog now. He's still got a few million to get to yet before you're due. So there you go. Anyway, anything to give, you know, just to cheer my kids up. Anyway, on to this. Sorry about that. I digressed, don't I? The Associated Press, Mark Kennedy, gave it 88 out of 100, very high, and said, DeCosta can make a stroll down a well-lit, modern and clean hallway somehow creepy. This is confident, smart filmmaking. There's a stunning scene in which the Candyman mirrors his prey's movements, and one in an elevator where blood droplets create their own horror inside horror. So he liked it. Internet Movie Database, yeah, that's still positive, but not quite as high. So this is Joe Public, obviously, in general. 6.5 out of 10, so not as quite as high as the critics and the Rotten Tomatoes audience with that one. 6,500 scores and reviews, 6,533. Of that, 4,291 scored it 6 or more. So again, 66%, so pretty close to that 6.5 out of 10. So, generally positive. What about my thoughts? I think I like about Candyman, and I liked it about the original. It's like some horrors don't sort of give you a sort of legend, a legend behind a horror. It's just horror for the sake of it. And I do like Candyman because you get that sort of original horror legend established, and it carries on with this sequel. Obviously, it continues the theme and updates the story. As I said, it takes the same sort of area of Chicago, and obviously it's updated now. So it's nice to see the homage to the old thing, but obviously updated, if you like, with the new area, and it's been redone, it's been regenerated. So obviously we get a regenerated Candyman, don't we? There are criticisms. One of them is that I found the first half of the movie just a little slow. I mean, it's supposed to be, you know, if it's going to develop characters, please develop characters. It didn't really do this. I mean, it does make up for it in the second half, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of murder and blood and things in the second half, but I did find the first half a little slow. There are complaints, of course, with most of Peele's movies, the writer Peele's movies, about the white bashing elements. I'm not too bothered about this. The film is entertainment. At the end of the day, I can make my own judgments up as to who the good and the bad guys are in the world, no matter what I'm faced with on a film drama or film horror, whichever it is. So I'm not too worried about those complaints with Mr. Peele. The ending's a little bit unsatisfying. As I said, with the slow start, some of the characters are quite shallow, and there was no real build-up of characters, even though, obviously, say, for the first 40 minutes, it would have been nice to perhaps at least not care about some. And to be honest with you, as the throats were ripped out, it would have been much better if I'd grown to dislike them before they got the throats ripped out. So that would have been much better. But I didn't find any really character build, whether to care one way or the other who died and who lived, to be honest with you. But there you go. And despite the bloodshed, the horror and scares are just a little weak at times. Once or twice it made me a little bit, like that, but not too much, unfortunately. So despite the horror and what was going on, I found it a little bit weak on the scary side. I found the original when I watched that. I've not gone back and watched it again. It might be totally different now, but I found the original far much unsettling as far as that's concerned, as far as being scary is concerned, if you like. So there are problems, as I say, it's not perfect, it's not, but I don't think it's a bad reboot. As I said, there's good elements to it. I like using the original area of Chicago, etc., etc. But I think some people will be disappointed, and looking at some of the reviews, some people are disappointed. Those who've actually watched the original and those who haven't watched the original, you know, sort of a little bit disappointed with this. So even though it's getting good scores, there's quite as a bit of negativity. It's not all you know, happiness and light and wonderfulment with this. It's there is a little bit of disappointment. So as I say, I think if you like the original, yeah, it might be a little bit disappointing. But as I said, I think it was okay. Certainly for that budget as well, for that low budget, they've done okay. It could have been scarier. It could have been. I could have better character development to ensure I cared less one way or the other about whether people lived or died. But it was okay, and that's my overall feeling. Just okay. I'm not going to go any further than that. As I said, there was certain flaws in it, and it wasn't a bad. We've seen worse reboots, put it that way. But yeah, I'm just yeah, okay, yeah. So I am going to give it just my watchable rating, which is 6 out of 10. As I said, it's not a big budget, so within that budget, they've done an okay job. But I think again, they had the actors there, they had the sets there, they had the scenes there, they had the ability to do things, and perhaps he could have done a little bit more, and could have done, because obviously I did have high hopes for this. I did look forward to this film, and on that basis, I was just a wee bit disappointed with it. But as I say, they had potential to make something quite good, but it wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped anyway. But let me know what you think anyway about the new reboot of Candyman. And I might just, if I get a chance, might just go back and watch the original, see if it was quite as good as I thought it was at the time. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we'll meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps you have a flit across and look at my Citizen channel, my football channel, my team, Manchester City. Wherever it is, I only ever ask one thing of you. Please stay safe, everyone. Don't go shouting that Candyman 5 times in the mirror, that's for sure. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.